All right, Philly. Let's see if it's worth dancing for. What is going on, everybody? How are y'all doing? What's up, Greninja? What's up, Never Zombie? Super Game Boy. All right. Xbox has just released there's actually a live stream of Inside Xbox 2019 big event for this year, the first big event for this year, and your boy was out. I just got home, so we're going to react to it live. I have no idea what announcements they're gonna have. I did hear that there were some pretty cool ones, so we're going to see. Before I get started though, if you want to join a great gaming community, become a sponsor, patreon.com/Obi1Plays. We've been playing at Apex Legends with the sponsors. Gonna be gaming other games. We have a Smash Prize tournament tomorrow. Let's go. All right, without further ado, let's do it.
Welcome, everyone, to our very first episode of Inside Xbox
What up,
2019, where we celebrate the biggest news for Xbox and share a few surprises along the way.
We got Larry
The last time we came together was down in Mexico City, and let me tell you, I missed that energy.
Got me a box of chocolate.
That was an amazing show. We had
those dudes were
there was
hype,
a guy ripping his shirt off. I've never seen anything like that, have you
Yeah,
guys?
the fans
They were
amazing.
hype,
The singing, the chanting, it was awesome. Had such a good
In
time.
Mexico, they get hype, bro.
Because that would be great.
Yeah.
Let me see what
Well,
other
we can't do
chocolate I
that.
can eat.
But we
That's
got a
true.
big show for you today, so bring the
All right,
noise
let's go.
in chat.
Bring the
Make sure you
noise.
keep the conversation
Crackdown.
going with hashtag
Game
Inside
Pass.
Xbox. Now, it's a
MK11,
big day
Division
for
2.
Crackdown 3, including a ton of new campaign footage and some sit-down time with the one and only Terry
What's up,
Crews.
AJ?
But we've also got
Gaming,
Sea of Thieves
Greninja,
news,
JJ,
a Metro
Mason,
Exodus reveal on tap,
Separu,
plus
Bryce.
Kiki Wolf Kill
Also,
343 is
give the
dropping
stream a
by
thumbs
Sunfield,
up.
something very special for Halo fans. Now, it's not
Let's
a
get
game,
the stream over
but it is
200
super
likes.
Cool. And Ed Boon himself will be getting over here.
We can do 200
to
likes.
talk Mortal Kombat 11.
I'm not going to be eating chocolate through this whole stream. Just going to eat one piece of
We'll get the
chocolate.
new details on the Division
So bear
2
with my
campaign,
chewing.
including Endgame. Plus,
For
you may have noticed
just a little bit.
Face on Inside Xbox today. Welcome, Kate Yeager.
That
from
Muhammad
the
Ali shirt is lit, bro.
Thank you, Jen.
EA needs to bring back a fight night, bro.
On today's show, Jump Force and Astronair will make appearances, plus a special behind-the-scenes look at a brand new studio, Typhoon, creators of the just-announced Journey to the Savage Planet.
All right, if you're watching us live today on Mixer, make sure you're logged into your Microsoft account and checking your Xbox Live messages.
I'm gonna be
you'll
done
get
with
a
this
free
chocolate
in-game
soon.
item from Sea of Thieves, and a very good chance,
What's up,
I mean
Kyle?
a very
What's
good
up, dude?
chance for getting
Thumbs
into the
up.
private beta for the Division 2 perks. We got them.
How good is very good, Larry? Because I want to get into that beta. All right, next up, Kate, we're going to put you
gonna be
right to
checking out
work.
Division
You and I
2.
get our agency briefings from Crackdown 3's Joseph Staten. But first, let's step up our boom one more time with this world premiere, sorry, Jeff Keighley, launch trailer.
There's been a lot of controversy around Crackdown, bro.
Agents battle for supremacy.
This gameplay right here doesn't look bad.
Agent, Terra Nova Corporation rules this city with an iron fist.
Broken, he's playing.
And Neiman is planning to black out the
Broken's a
world.
fanboy, Sony phony fanboy.
I have a plan. You.
Broken, you know you're getting that Crackdown at launch, boy.
First, carefully recon
Hey.
the Chimera operation.
Hey,
Then, slowly, we offline their industrial power. Above all else, we stay off the boss's radar. All right, maybe we do it your way.
boom. Laka, laka, laka. Bruh, dude just threw a police car. What's up, Heavy G? What's up, dude? What's up, Heavy? The bigger the chaos, bigger the man. Tank, bigger the boom.
Not bad, Agent. Ready for
Oh,
another
that
round?
better not been Terry Crews. That dude don't look nothing like Terry Crews. Step up your boom. Crackdown threats.
Play February 15th with Xbox Game Pass.
I got Game Pass. I'm gonna be playing it.
All right, we'll get back to Crackdown actually in a second. I was looking at Twitter because I have a problem. Yeah, and I saw Cabal is trending worldwide, just revealed by NetherRealm to be
Cabal is coming to Mortal Kombat 11.
Cool. Yummy.
Just want to say, that is not the character that we're going to be confirming later. So stay tuned. We'll be confirming another Mortal Kombat 11 character, but you know, back to the business at hand.
Let's go.
We're here with Joseph Staten. Thank you for my digression.
Sure.
You're the creative director from Crackdown 3.
That's right. I am working on the game, but lots of other really talented folks.
That's awesome, and we just saw a lot out of that trailer. So,
yes,
what should folks expect when they fire up Crackdown 3 on February 15th?
Well, as you can tell from that trailer, Crackdown is a very cerebral, brooding, calm sort of game. No, Crackdown has always been, and Crackdown 3 really is this explosive playground of fun. It's colorful, comic book inspired, doesn't take itself too seriously. It's got a little pinch of Terry Crews thrown in for extra boom. It's just great. This open world action platformer. You'll get to play it by yourself or co-op with a friend.
I mean, it's not a graphically intense game, but
good friend Terry Crews
get it. It's a shell-shaded art style.
Crackdown franchise. What? It's fine.
So I'm not going to make any judgments on the game until I play the game.
So if you're new to Crackdown, don't worry. This is Crackdown 3.
Yes, people. This is the Nintendo Direct you wanted, Brent.
It's got a brand new world, whole new cast of
Give the stream
bad
a
guys,
thumbs up
but it
while
still
you're
has
at
that same classic.
We're gonna get the stream over 200
feel.
likes.
So
bro.
the story, in short, I don't want to give away too many spoilers, but you saw from the trailer, there's this evil mega corporation, Terra Nova. They're linked to these blackout attacks around the world.
Big announcements.
The agency has sent you, one of their superheroic agents, to this place called New Providence, and what you'll be doing there is liberating the city and taking Terra Nova down.
And Crackdown is all about that process of getting there. And something that the original Crackdown has done is really, it's all about verticality. You really went higher in an open world game than you ever had in any game before that. How's Crackdown 3 looking at hitting heights?
Yep, absolutely. That in an action platforming way, getting up high, getting vertical, leaping around is really the core of the gameplay. Crackdown 3's world, New Providence, is twice as big, twice as tall. Crackdown's always had this insane player leveling curve, so you might start off the game just being able to jump up one story of a building. By the end,
I mean,
no, it's kind of insane right from the start. But by the end, you'll be able to leap up skyscrapers, throw tanks at your enemies. It's just this romp and a really fun sandbox.
Speaking of that sandbox, talk to me about the art style Crackdown 3.
Yeah, for sure. Crackdown 1 took inspiration from comic books. It had a cel-shaded, outlined style to it, and we still have some of that in Crackdown 3, but we've updated the graphics, the art style for modern PCs, Xbox One X. We have support for 4K, HDR, physics-based rendering, just a whole bunch of modern features, but it has that classic
Are they going to talk about Nintendo? Of course they are, Beretta. Stay tuned.
They render the world as we see it very beautifully. Crackdown isn't like that at all. It's got pinks and slimy greens, and it's flashy and just over the top, has a lot of fun. And that carries over to our boss characters.
This actually looks like a Nintendo-type game, bro.
Don't take themselves too seriously.
So that's the visuals, but there's one thing that I remember more than anything from Crackdown, and it's... Give it to me. There it is. That orb sound. Thank you for the second one.
I've never played a Crackdown game in my life, bro.
It's like a Pavlovian response. Like you have to get those orbs. In fact, collecting those agility orbs was like a game within a game. Please tell me that's back in Crackdown 3.
Yes. As a matter of fact, there are even more orbs this time around to go and collect. But Crackdown has always been about freedom, right? As soon as you enter the gates of New Providence, as soon as you enter this open world, you can go wherever you want. If you see an orb, you can go and collect it. If you want to go straight for the final boss tower right out of the gate, you can totally do that.
I gotta have
Climb
a game plan
for a skyscraper and just try to take her down. It won't be very easy, but Crackdown has always been that way. All the systems, the story, they just lurk in the background and see the choices that you make, and then they react to it. So there's no tight linear story you have to follow. The game just adapts to whatever you love doing, and the game unfolds that way. Very cool. But yes, very vertical, filled with orbs.
Filled with orbs.
Try to beat Crackdown before.
At any rate, let's talk about the multiplayer mode, Wrecking Zone. That was obviously a big announcement at XO18. Can you talk to me more about that, what that's going to look like on launch day, and talk to me about the cloud-based destruction I've been hearing so much about.
Yes, so that is key to this new multiplayer mode. Wrecking Zone is Crackdown's PvP mode. And we are doing
Broken, you don't want none of that jump
cloud-based
force,
destruction.
Bro.
That means
Go and get
we're
on the PlayStation 4 so you
all
can run for
that Havoc physics compute to Microsoft Azure. It's doing all those calculations, then putting it back down to your client. And what that means for gamers is my destruction experience is the same as yours.
Yeah,
if I'm
AJ, I
on
get
a
what they're doing,
first-generation
bro.
Xbox One
I ain't
from 4 or 5 years ago, and you've got a brand new Xbox One X, and you're on PC, Jeff, we're seeing that same lockstep destruction. And what's cool about that is it means we all have very interesting tactical choices. It's not just spectacle, it's gameplay. So if I want to punch all the way through a building to try to get at you quickly, or if I want to drop a bridge on top of you, we're all just for fun.
Sure, or a car.
Yeah, we're all able to do that. Every physics chunk is the same for all of us. And so this destruction feels very real, very tactical. It's a whole new way to play games. It's really exciting, I think.
All right, one more time, remind us how and when do we get Crackdown 3?
Good point. So, I should also say for Wrecking Zone for launch, on day one, just so people know what they're going to get, we're going to launch with 3 maps, in 2 modes, and it's going to be 5v5 PvP, team-based PvP. And that will launch on February 15th, along with the campaign. So, what, 10 days? Oh my God! It's so close. But that's going to be cool. So you can, of course, get it on Game Pass or pre-order it if you want to, but we are real close.
Banjo's lit, bro.
Very cool. Now, you two have something in common.
The orbs inside of us?
Well, we weren't going to talk about that. But you two have both met, and I'm very jealous, Terry Crews. So how has that been? How has it been working with Terry?
Yeah.
Kate, you go first.
Well, we're obviously besties now because he's my new spirit animal, but I digress. Like, no, he is one of genuinely the coolest guys I think I've ever met and interviewed, and I'd be curious what your thoughts were mocapping that guy and coming alongside with the voiceover and everything.
Well, Terry is basically a Crackdown agent in real life. Yeah. He's superhumanly strong. He's got endless positive energy, and of course he's just a really warm, friendly human being, super great to work with. He's actually one of 21 agents that you can play in the game. So
shout out to everybody coming into the stream.
All over the world,
give the stream a thumbs up. We're going to get the stream over 200 likes.
Super fun.
We can do it.
Good choice with that.
Yes.
Absolutely. I think he referred to it as Crackdown 3 as a Terry simulator.
It kind of is.
Which is fair.
If Terry spends his days like climbing skyscrapers and throwing tanks at dropships, he might.
There you go. But of course, before we talk to the man himself, let's get to know Commander Jackson up close and personal with this world premiere of the Crackdown 3 opening cinematic. Enjoy.
Oh, I've never seen this. I haven't seen this before. This is the opening cinematic for the game. It's a little bit of a spoiler, but whatever. It's the opening.
New York, Moscow, Seoul. A whole new group of cities just got hit.
Let's go.
It's chaos. And the intel we've got is shaky at best. These are dark days, Commander.
Don't worry,
it's
son.
Cell shaded. That's like saying Breath of the Wild looks bad. Because it's cell shaded. Yeah, rare replays, Harry.
Skills! Skills for kills!
Now that's Terry Crews.
That never gets old. Listen up!
Yeah! We're listening,
Our
Terry.
target is New Providence.
New Providence. Okay.
Now, she may look pretty, but this city is full of corporate gangsters. Psychopaths. And butchers. We are diving head first into a viper's nest. But I promise you this, come tomorrow, we're all gonna be walking around wearing shiny snake skin boots. These sons of bitches wanna black out the world. Not on our watch.
Hey, I got it on Game Pass. Okay. Boo, 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 boo. Pew, pew.
Justice. By any means necessary.
Any means necessary. Let him know. Let him know. Go get him, Terry. Go get him.
Someone give me my jam. This is it, agents. Time to make Daddy Duck proud.
What's that? You flex on him? Oh, green plasma. Uh-oh, what just happened?
Stand tall, Agent. Ain't nothing gonna take us down. We are the strongest, baddest ass kickers on Earth.
They mean business.
Commander, agents, do you hear me? Report in. That's an order.
Why they let the black dude die at the beginning, bro? That's in every movie, bro.
You're still with me, Agent. The rest of your team.
Terry Crews dies at the beginning? Or is he still alive?
The assholes that did this to you, we can make them hurt. Pay them back for what they did. But first I need to know.
Is that Terry Crews still?
Can I trust you? I'll take that as a yes.
What's up, 901? Yeah, they did Terry dirty, bro.
You yourself have been very public and enthusiastic about your love of games. Can you tell me what it's like?
Bro, they turned him
yourself right up there as Commander Jackson.
He got fatality, bro.
Of the 80s, okay? I grew up with video game culture, but also I'm a human cartoon, okay? I'm not afraid to say it. Everything I do is animated. I'm left-handed, right brain, and I see the world differently than a lot of people. I've always been accused of being extra, as if that's something wrong, and I was like, no, I am extra. I'm extra this, you know what I mean? I even wear extra medium, okay? To actually see myself and to play like
okay, so they brought him back to life.
It's a dream.
I gotta know, what can fans expect when they pick up that controller, when they pick Commander Jackson?
That's right.
You have to understand.
Okay, so he's not dead. I'm about to say, bro.
It's designed for battle.
I'm about to say, bro.
You will be designed for battle. When you pick up that controller, play with me, it's going to be extra. It's going to be extreme. It's going to be loud. It's going to be big. Everything I am. That's what you can expect.
You've obviously been an advocate for diversity and inclusion in entertainment. Brooklyn Nine-Nine, great example of that.
We need the
Tell
elite
me a little
controllers
bit
in
about
custom
what
colors.
it feels like to be on the forefront of this kind of movement.
You know what? It feels good to be on the right side of history. People are realizing, because it used to be people would feel like if we give them that, then they're going to take from us. But that's the biggest lie that has ever been told. If you include women, if you include African Americans, if you include Asian Americans, if you include Hispanic, it will triple, quadruple your audience. You are realizing now you have the whole world.
That's right.
I want to see a colorful world. I want to see everyone get their shot. And I'm loving what I'm seeing right now. I don't think there's any way back to the way things used to be. You know what I mean? And I love it.
It's pretty clear to see you're a guy who appreciates inspirational things, inspirational people, and I know that people find a lot of inspiration in you. What have you experienced in terms of people that have inspired you, and how have you inspired others, or how have you heard of that?
I got a story on Facebook. Whew, blew me away. Okay. This young mom, she had a son, and he was really sick, but they would watch everything I did. He passed. Whew. I get emotional thinking about it, but
man, he's gonna cry.
You know, the mom sent me a letter to say that he had all my things, everything that I had done, in a box, and she said every time she pulls something out and watches something I do, it reminds her of this wonderful time she had with her son. And I'm going, man, this is so important. Like the things we get to do is so important. It's funny because a lot of people feel like you got to be a doctor or a lawyer, you know, and that's that kind of thing because that's the only way you're helping the world. But that's not true. What you have to do is be yourself and operate in your gifts.
Let them know, just be you.
And that is how you change the world.
That's
it was
Terry.
taking her from her sadness and helping her through her grief. I was like, hey man, I'm ready.
What's up,
I don't
Ruben?
have a problem jumping on the red carpet. I have no problem popping my pecs. I have no problem going extreme and going extra because you don't know who you're going to inspire today.
There you go. You got to inspire.
I'm with it. I'm going to be Terry Crews till the end. Let's keep it going.
Let's go, bro.
Dude, let's keep it going, dude.
I'm so jealous of you right now.
You know what?
He's amazing.
He is. Like I said earlier, he is my new spirit animal, and he is genuinely extra. So a huge thank you to Terry Crews for that interview, of course. And of course, he proves again and again that he is an inspiring force in entertainment. Not a bad way, as you say, to spend a Saturday.
No, again, very jealous. But you know what else happened this weekend?
What?
What?
The Super Bowl. I'll leave the armchair quarterbacking or
Super
punting
Bowl
to others, but hey,
was boring. 3-3
this
at
is where
halftime.
we debuted our latest video for the Xbox Adaptive Controller. Take a look.
Yeah,
My name is Grover.
Sean, hey, shout out to Microsoft for doing stuff like this, bro.
And I am 9.5 years old.
This adaptive controller is lit, bro. It's dope.
One.
For everybody.
And yeah. I love video games, my friends, my family, and again video games.
Whenever I play it, it makes me feel happy. The fun that you get to have with connecting with your friends.
You make your own rules?
It's his way of interacting with his friends when he can't physically otherwise do it.
When I'm playing with a regular controller, there's some things that don't work for me. It's difficult for me to use both joysticks and the D-pad at the exact same time.
And it just slowed me down a bunch more, while other people were like...
She's
and to
never
be fair, nobody can
had
use
the
both things
freedom
on the
to play at the level
time.
she knows she could.
I never thought it was unfair. I just thought, hey, this is the way it is and it's not going to change. What I like about the adaptive controller is that now everyone can play.
I don't even have to look at the controller and just be like looking at the screen like, hey, yep.
You never want your kid to feel like an outsider or an other.
One of the biggest fears early on is, how will Owen be viewed by the other kids? He's not different when he plays.
It's a little challenging, but that's the whole point of gaming. I can hit the buttons just as fast as they can.
And I think I can crush my friends. No matter how your body is or how fast you are, you can play. It's a really good thing to have in this world.
I posted at the end. He said, pull up.
I don't think I'm exaggerating. That was probably the best part of the Super Bowl,
It really,
at least for me.
I'll see that. Agreed. Now, a bit later in the show, we've got Kiki Wolfkill from 343 Industries, Joe Neat from Sea of Thieves, and much, much more. Now, of course,
let's see what else
Crackdown
they
3
got.
is headlining the new entries into Xbox Game Pass, but it's not the only title coming right around the corner. Ricari, Larry, tell us more.
What's coming
Thank
to
you
Game
very
Pass?
much, Kate. I am so excited.
I tell you, man,
for
Game
Crackdown
Pass
3.
is
You know,
lit, bro.
I think I might be coming down with a case of the sniffles on right about the 15th. Did I just say that out loud?
Figure with a name like Xbox Live's Major Nelson, you wouldn't have to call in sick, but you know, you do you.
You know I would do me. Changing subjects are not changing subjects. Let's talk about Xbox Game Pass, shall we?
Let's see what's coming on Game Pass, bro. Give me them free games, boy. Night music.
Xbox Game Pass
Extra
offers
subscriber
up a
night
library
music.
of well over 100 games. So of course, it's a great way to play your favorite games, but it's also a better way to discover games you may not have otherwise noticed. And of course,
doing this. What's up, Minty? What's up, dude?
That's absolutely right, you know. So what's coming up next on Xbox Game Pass? Well,
What's next?
We like to show, not tell, so why don't you take a look?
Let's see.
I thought I knew why I came
Shadow.
here. I saw it.
Is this the newest Tomb Raider game? I get confused with the titles now, which one came where.
I won't let that happen.
Oh, this is now on Game Pass? That's lit, bro. That's lit, bro.
If you had the power to alter the course of humanity, what would you do?
Shout out to Tomb Raider. Is this the newest one? That's dope. That's dope. February 7th. Oh, that's when that Division 2 demo comes out. I'm beyond that Division 2 too, bro.
Shadow of the Tomb Raider coming to Xbox Game Pass later this week. It's Xbox One X Enhanced. It looks amazing. Now, here's another addition to the Game Pass catalog. Season 1 of The Walking Dead game is coming to Xbox Game Pass. The first season was a hallmark of great storytelling in video games, and it introduced us to Clementine, whose emotional, often tragic story is being wrapped up right now in the final season thanks to Skybound Games.
Larry, I've got to admit that I'm almost afraid to admit this, like here live right now.
Go.
Never played the game, so I'm excited for it to come to Xbox Game Pass.
You got to do that.
I know, it's going to happen.
I've never been a fan of the Walking Dead series.
Yep.
Who am I?
Batman.
I like that you did it too. Good participation. Batman Return to Arkham is coming to Bat Pass on February 21st. And it's actually 2 games.
Oh, it's a
Batman
remastered?
Arkham Asylum and Batman Arkham City.
You have to check these games out because the free flow combat it feels so effortless, and you actually
never played the
Batman
as well.
You feel that, but you feel like a superhero.
For once.
That Muhammad Ali
and
show
coming
is lit,
on
bro.
February 7th is Pumped BMX Pro. Dozens of tricks and levels, over 200 challenges, and a healthy dose of hilarity when you bite it trying one trick too many.
Biking fails videos are always my favorite thing. All right, now we also have a couple of nice quality of life improvements to the Xbox Game Pass mobile app.
Yep.
You can now track your quests, and this is a big one for me. Choose a default Xbox in the app to download your games onto.
Great feature.
This is an absolutely wonderful feature if you have more than one Xbox in your household.
We do.
We do.
Don't
We
you?
got 2.
All right, we're lucky. Anyway, and well, nothing says lovin' like a blob. That's right, Da Blob will grace Game Pass on Valentine's Day, February 14th. Enjoy this platformer as a blob rolling around to bring color back to a gray city. Jeff, don't say we never gave you a Valentine.
You never forget about me. Flowers, chocolate, to blob. I'm all set for Valentine's Day. My wife, we'll see what she says about that. Okay, now it's time to check out the latest version of a major gaming franchise. It is a global powerhouse with a storied history and a passionate fan base, and I count myself among them. You know what else Mortal Kombat has? Ed Boon. He's not only the head of the studio, but also the voice of Scorpion, and I bet you didn't know this, he holds the world record for the longest-serving video game actor. Toasty! He doesn't say that.
That's how you're supposed to say it, bro. Toasty! You don't know. It's a toasty. It's wrong. All wrong. Mortal Kombat 11 is going to be lit. Who in the YouTube chat is getting Mortal Kombat?
Studios recently invited our cameras to their exclusive preview event celebrating the reveal of Mortal Kombat 11. And as if a full day of embroiling oneself into a pure Mortal Kombat pop-up wonderland wasn't enough, die-hard fans were rewarded for their passionate allegiance to the franchise with an exclusive look at new MK11 gameplay.
Oh my goodness, these fatalities,
we had a chance to sit down with gaming legend Ed Boon to find out what fans can expect from the latest installment of this martial arts masterpiece.
Well, the work behind this title was all about changing the fighting mechanic and the rules of how the meters work was a big thing. The last 4 games that NetherRealm has done, we've had a meter kind of at the bottom of the screen that the player would use to enhance his offensive moves and enhance his defensive moves.
I know that.
Or save up to do a super move. With Mortal Kombat 11, we've separated all 3 of those components. So there's an offensive meter, which is the horizontal one. There's a defensive meter, which is the vertical one.
That's
and
cool,
the
that 2 meters.
fatal blows are put on the player's health bar when it reaches below 30%. So the player doesn't have to worry about, I'm going to use this resource for these moves. So
these like mid moves are like fatalities, bro.
New meters allow for new strategies, and that's just part of a host of changes.
Changing our visuals, changing our fatalities. They end with this big splash, like a moment in time that, is kind of pauses everything. Which goes along with the whole theme of Chronica and controlling time and time travel.
I wonder if they're going to have like fatalities,
it
friendships.
Really kind of fits together.
They need to bring all that stuff in there too.
Another key factor when it comes to this game, of course, the characters.
Mortal Kombat X introduced, character variations, which is basically 3 versions of every character. There are 3 Scorpions, 3 Sub-Zeros, 3 Raidens, etc.
MK11 takes this one step further by allowing players to customize variations as they choose.
So, and the player gets to name the variation.
Oh, it's not just cosmetics?
The costume pieces he's on, choose the costume overall that they're using, program what those gear pieces do in terms of helping them with gameplay.
Oh, it affects gameplay.
It'll be a big deal to be able to make your own versions of these characters.
I didn't know that.
Also at the reveal, Ed and his team announced a new
I thought it was
voice
just
to Mortal Kombat
cosmetic
11,
changes.
and she's no stranger to the ring.
We have friends and acquaintances that in video games and WWE, UFC. At some point, somebody said, wouldn't it be cool to have Ronda Rousey in Mortal Kombat? And we said, hey, her as Sonya would be a perfect thing. So she plays a really big part in the story. She voiced all of her lines. So we're very excited to see.
And there's another returning fan favorite in development that has remained under wraps until right now.
Devora is one of the ones that we are bringing along into Mortal Kombat 11. Right here is the first time we've announced it in terms of you guys know first. So we're excited to see her and her new moves as she plays in the game. You know,
wasn't she
in
Injustice?
Kind of sandbox.
New characters, new visuals, new strategies, all add up to a new experience, which is what keeps the Mortal Kombat franchise, well, immortal.
Mortal Kombat 11, you know, the camera's a little bit closer. It's more intense. It's close-up fighting. You know, there's a lot more in terms of like jockeying back and forth, space control, and strategy. It's more of a strategic-paced game as opposed to a rushdown. We want people who play Mortal Kombat 11 to feel like it's a different game than Mortal Kombat 10, different game than Mortal Kombat 9.
I just realized that. It's more up close, bro. What's up, everybody? Coming to the stream.
What are you doing?
Get the stream a thumbs
Jeff,
up.
What are you doing?
Morocco only took one bite.
Jeff,
it's playing brain.
No. Listen. I need you to get off the set. I've got somebody more important coming in here. Take your brain, show yourself the door. We're gonna have some Halo news in just a minute, but first, Matt Booty is here. Matt, great to see you. I'm sorry about that.
I'm glad I ate lunch.
Yeah, I know. I don't know where he got that brain from. Anyway, it's great to see you.
It's good to see you.
Last time we saw each other was at XO 18 down in Mexico.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since then, hasn't it?
It was a great event.
We announced a bunch of new studios, but today you're here to talk about something else.
Yeah, so we've got some news. You know, as the games that we make in studios have evolved from
Head
just
of
being
Microsoft
games
Studios,
to being PC games,
Matt
mobile
Booty.
games, and as we have worked to grow our services to show up in places like PC and mobile, the Xbox brand has really come to mean more than just a console.
Right.
And I think Xbox really means playing games with the people you want to play with, on the devices that you want to play, whether that's PC or mobile. So in the spirit of that, of evolving beyond just our console roots, we are changing our name from Microsoft Studios to Xbox Game Studios.
Well, there it is. You can see the new logo right there on the screen with some of our games in the background there. So that's great news. What exactly is in it?
It better explains.
So the word studios can mean some different things to different people. Maybe it's a music studio, a TV studio. You know, we're lucky to have
if they put
some big franchises like Halo and Minecraft that can support things like TV shows and movies. But really, our DNA, our roots go back to making games and having creative teams focused on making games. That's why it was really important that we get the word game in there. So Xbox Game Studios is important for us.
What does the change mean for you? What does it represent?
For me, I think it really reflects over the last year work that we've done to double down on our creative teams to really make sure that they feel supported to deliver great games. There's a lot of things that we're doing in Xbox right now, but really being successful on those things means starting with good games.
Now, it doesn't really change the mission of the teams at all. It doesn't really change anything for them, right?
No, this is just a change of the name, and it's just really more to get the name in sync with what we're doing in the studio.
Now, you have been in this role, the head of studios, for about a year now, right? So congratulations on your year anniversary. Tell us a little bit about what you've been up to. I know you've been out to visit some of the studios, right?
Yeah, well, when you and I talked last, the ink was maybe just barely dry in some of the acquisitions. So we're glad to have that all wrapped up, to have those signed and closed. And this week, we're actually getting together with all 13 of the studio heads to start working on some of the things about sharing technology between the studios, letting them get to know each other, share best practices, and talk about some of the stuff that we're going to be doing in the future.
Now, you talked about games. Everyone cares about games. When are we going to get a glimpse at some of their hard work?
Yeah, so as you know, with these studios, some of the work is really focused on the future, things that we're going to do new together, but also some of the studios had projects that were in the works when we acquired them, and those will be coming out pretty soon. So we'll be excited to share some news about what we're up to coming up in the next few months at E3.
What are you talking about,
E3,
Joseph?
there you go. Matt, great to see you. Come back anytime.
Great, thanks.
All right, next, let's talk Halo. We don't have a game announcement. No, yeah, you stand right there. We're not letting you go yet.
I get excited.
Okay, don't talk. We're going to talk about that in just a minute. It's not a game announcement, so it's safe to step away from Reddit, soak up the news about a new live Halo event coming to a city near you.
Live Halo event. I'm good. Not yet. Welcome to Olive Garden. What is this? Halo Outpost Discovery. What is this? Discover. Experience. Engage. Oh, it's like a live events. Laser Tag Arena. VR. I need to try VR one day, bro. One day. Chris Jones said Xbox has no games. I've been playing tons of games on my Xbox. What you talking about, bro? Halo Outpost.
Okay, so that is absolutely unique. A real-world traveling Halo Outpost and 343 Studio Head Transmedia, yes.
Yeah.
Kiki Wolfkill is here to tell us what in the world we just saw. So Kiki, give me the elevator pitch. I gotta say, well, let me just preface this. I'm the kid that was always first in line for all of
He got on the J's. He got on the same J's I got on.
Different, unique.
He got the black and white ones.
Tell me what I need to know.
Yeah,
So
my dude got on them J's. He got on the same J's
so
I got on my chair.
We really, so it's a touring fan experience. And the idea is really to take, there's so many different parts of Halo.
I knew there was something
right?
about
There's
that
the
dude
stories and the characters and the gameplay and the cosplayers in our community. So how do we bring all of those things together
What's that dude name?
under one roof
What's the dude
and
name
bring
in the
it
middle?
to
I
our
can add him on
fans?
Twitter.
And I think that's the difference because we learned with the E3 HoloLens thing we did in 2015, which was super cool, and Halo Fest in 2011, our own museum at 343, even the Boomco Arena we did at Comic-Con. Like, these are all things where people came together and experienced Halo in a really different, physical way, and it was super inspiring. But we also recognized, you know, our fans can't always come to 343 or come to E3. So really, this is the idea of how do we bring those experiences and more, like more of
2K20,
a sort of themed
first
attraction
gameplay
experience
2K20.
to our fans where they are.
And you know what? You said it right. This is a unique experience. I personally have never heard of anything like this, so I'm very excited. But talk us through, more importantly, walk us through the experience. If I'm a fan walking into the first moments,
but right now I've just been gaming with the sponsors.
And our hope is, because the thing we learned from these experiences, fans bring their family and friends, right? Like, we all have things that we love that our friends and family watch us play or watch, and they don't quite get it, right? And this is a way for them to come and experience it together.
They need to get back to the games.
And so the first
experiences.
I would say your initial experience, and it's a 3-day weekend experience, is you come in and the first thing you do is meet Gabriella, who's our new AI for Outpost Discovery. So you'll come in and, you know, innovation is a huge part of what we do. So the technological innovation of how you experience Halo in real life
is really
critical for us to get right. So you come in, you meet
What's
Gabriella,
up,
projected,
dude?
And then you come into our Hall of History, and that really is sort of all of the artifacts and life-size figures and all of the things you've played in the games or seen in our stories, but brought to life. And so that's really the introduction for everybody, is to come through this Hall of History. There's obviously
tomorrow we're going to have a prize smash tournament.
And then
for
you
the
go
sponsors,
into the ring experience, which
to
is this huge domed projection experience, kind of walking you through what it is to be on the Halo ring.
That's why I missed
really
this live
to create
stream.
these experiences that were viscerally really exciting to physically be in, but for fans, it touches on deep lore, and for people who are new, it's just really exciting. And then the world kind of opens up, and there's so many things to do.
So you talked about that deep lore, and you mentioned getting it right. And I know the attention to detail has absolutely got to be there, or else Twitter and Reddit will let you know. I've seen it happen. So I'm curious about the nuance, you know, like the nuance and how your team is taking care to make sure you get this right for those who love the deep lore.
Well, we have an amazing partner in Hershey Live. They also own and run the Harlem Globetrotters, so their experience in putting on a show and also taking that show on the road is unique and really sort of one of a kind. And so we've partnered really closely. We have a team on our side who is focused on all of those details. And really, again, how do you hit the existing fan, and how do you hit someone new and introduce this universe to them? We have the franchise team deeply engaged. There's a narrative across the whole experience. So when you come into Halo Outpost Discovery, you're in the narrative of that experience, which is a post-Halo 3 experience. And so that narrative is part of every single thing that you do as a participant. And so we've been really deeply involved in crafting
this Halo
that story.
Outpost discovery
Now, you alluded to it at the beginning, after the introduction, after you're walking through the hallowed halls there. What are some of the other experiences
but I'm not. We're going to watch the whole
thing,
bro.
There's a huge range. We have a huge laser tag arena. Right, competition is kind of core to Halo. But there's also, we have a competitive VR experience.
Yeah, it is. It's supposed to be
the laser tag experience. We have things that are almost like rides, right? And really ways, we have a escape room experience in a Covenant environment, which is something we've never built physically before. So being able to step into a Covenant environment is completely new.
How much more longer they're going to be talking about
and there are things like this is something we want people to bring their families to. Halo is, multi-generational. We have moms and dads who want to share Halo with their kids, and so there's a Boomco target range, there's a Mega Blocks building area, and then there's competitive play. We want people to to get a sense for what it feels like to participate in an esport. We'll have streaming on site. We'll have cosplayers everywhere. So it's really kind of taking all of the pieces of our community and making it a place where our community can come and share their love for Halo with other people. Wow.
It's funny you mentioned that family bit because, since it's a snow day in Seattle, my kid's here right now watching this happen.
Right.
But I want to know.
Your child is adorable.
Let's not gas him up. His head is big enough, right? But I want to know, what does our ideal day look like? Like, what's our walkthrough experience? How do we best experience this?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because we actually have different walkthroughs for all different types of fans to come, and the family walkthrough is sort of a mix of things that you may want to do and things you can do with your son. Like I said, the Boomco target range is it's a leaderboard, score-based experience. Is super fun. Obviously, there's food on site.
Oh, say no more.
People to
chill. We're there. Oh, so I'm first in line again.
For people to chill. But there's another part of it is there's this whole sort of what we call the post-exchange marketplace.
They spend way too much time
and
on
that really is sort of like a fan fest atmosphere, right? Which is we'll have booths and sponsors and people bringing their wares.
It shouldn't be too much longer,
There's
bro.
sort of this whole range, so the whole family actually has something that they can go do.
Well, now for the very important details. How can people participate? Are you selling tickets? And the most important detail, I think, which
Who's second in line?
Well,
because I'm first. I'm just throwing that out there.
I'm going to watch that battle.
More importantly, he'll win. It's fair. He's just bigger. But more importantly, where is the outpost heading?
Yeah, so tickets are actually available, not surprisingly, right now.
What?
Yes.
I know. While we're up here. Great. No.
Now.
Actually,
HaloOutpostDiscovery.com. And it's 5 cities starting on July 5th. So 3-day weekends through the summer from July to September. And we'll start in Orlando. And then we go to Philadelphia. I'm going to try and get my regions right.
That's
Chicago,
not too far, bro.
Houston, Anaheim. So we really wanted to go where our fans are, right? To that point of how do we bring this experience to our communities? And so we picked regions all over the country that are both big metropolitan areas, but also sort of great sort of fan bases for us.
And before you ask your last question, well, I guess I'm the last question because I'm going to jump in here. Okay. This is unscheduled.
So you won that battle.
I know, I did. I would be remiss as a Halo fan if I didn't ask. Even if you can't say anything, even if you can only say no, I want to know if there's anything you can tell us about the new Showtime project.
Nothing new to officially share.
Oh,
we're knee deep in it. Like it's really exciting for us because these things take so much time, and we're really in the nitty gritty, and it's so much fun.
Well, it's highly anticipated. Thank you very much, Keith.
For
being here.
I mean, it sounds like, Kate, we're going to Orlando, July 5th? Yeah, we'll make it happen. We'll make it happen.
Party in Orlando.
All right.
I'm there.
Well, we've still got Jump Force and Metro Exodus for you a little later, so stay where you are. But before we get to that, Larry recently spent some time with the fine folks behind Tom Clancy's The Division 2.
Division.
Right now, this is your base of operations.
Hey, the demo is in
new endgame details.
2 days.
Check. Take a look.
Division 2 demo comes out June.
Is our defining
February 7th.
Our chance to take back our
third
country.
person. I like where you can see it, Kevin.
Hi, it's Larry Herb, Xbox Live's Major Nelson, down here in San Francisco for the Division 2 preview event. Now we're going to talk to Julian Garrity, who is the creative director for the Division 2. But first, I have something to reveal. It's this guy right here. It is the Division 2 bundle, the Xbox One X version. Now you get a full download of the game, including a trial of Xbox Game Pass and Xbox Live Gold. This thing is amazing. Now, the Division 2 is enhanced for Xbox One X, and Julian's going to tell us a little bit about that. Julian, thanks for joining us. Great to see you.
Thank you very much for having me.
First of all, we just announced this great Xbox One X, the Division 2 bundle. Tell us a little bit about what the enhancements are.
Actually, this is the first time I see the bundle, so it's a special moment.
It's special for both of us, everyone.
Xbox One X allows us to get the best out of the game, and that means 4K graphics, HDR, and HDR, really, this is the crispest version that we have on console.
Let's talk about the game. I want to talk about the Division 2 and start with the base of operations is the White House. That's amazing.
Yes.
Tell us about
it's an
open
demo. So we revealed that today because basically the base of operations is your home. It is that location that you need to build up and that represents all of those features, upgrades, tools, skills, weapons that you're going to need to get. If there was one iconic location in Washington, D.C. that could represent that, it had to be the White House. Washington has a diversity that New York doesn't have. Washington has these wide open spaces, has these government buildings, but it has suburbs, it has commercial areas, it has nature. So there's a lot more things that we could do that creates a more varied space. And of course, that leads to a more varied experience, even in terms of gameplay.
Can you tell us about some of the activities we'll see as we're roaming the city?
So one of the things that we really wanted to improve on the first game is injecting more life, more dynamic events and activities for players to engage in. So we really leaned into things like control points, which are strategic locations of importance. It could be a hospital, the corner of a hospital, the access to the medication, to the drugs that people need just to be able to survive through the night. That's going to become a strategic location of importance, not only for the civilians, but also for the factions. So you're going to have to take that back, and that will feed into the resources that the settlements need to survive and thrive.
After you take back DC, is that the end of the game and the end of the story?
Is it? Actually, it is.
Is it?
Okay.
When you do reach the end game, when you do take the capital back from the True Sons, there's a twist. And a brand new faction is introduced into the world at endgame. And just their introduction is a transformation of the world. They're injected into the open world and they invade every single main mission, giving you a brand new reason why to play them. At E3, we went up and we said, our commitment to our player base is to provide a whole year worth of free content. At least 3 episodes of a map extension, narrative content, new main missions, new modes, new maps. But every single episode will be packed with activities, rewards, gear, and weapons for our entire community for free.
That's fantastic. Tell us about specializations and how they factor into the end game.
At endgame, you have a new threat, a new challenge, lots of new activities. So you're going to need new equipment. What we've developed there is a whole new progression tree for you within endgame. And those are defined by specializations, highlighted by a signature weapon. And that's a choice of a 50 cal sniper rifle, a crossbow, with special ammunition, arrows there, and a grenade launcher. But that signature weapon really is just the start of a whole series of unlocks for you, your character, to deepen that playstyle.
Julian, there's a lot going on for you and the team between now and launch, but what about folks at home?
So there are really 2 dates that you need to keep in mind.
Okay.
February 7th, we start our private beta.
Oh, so
now, to play, you can pre-order for guaranteed access, or you can sign up on the Division's website for a chance to play. And then that heads into March 15th, when the game actually launches.
Julian, thanks for your time, and good luck on the launch.
Thank you very much.
drops this track on Doritos Flavor Hot Chips. I need to
needed another reason
check
to pick
that
up
out.
Yet another console. Now you saw the Xbox One X bundle, but you can also get the Division 2 Xbox One S bundle. So pick your favorite flavor. And don't forget, if you're watching this live on Mixer, you have a good chance, actually a great chance, of getting access to the Division 2 private beta that begins on the 7th. Just be sure you're logged in with your Microsoft account and check those Xbox Live messages to be eligible for the Mixpod. By the way, the demo will be ready to load starting tomorrow. Now, everybody loves new hardware, and I feel like we haven't seen Graham in a while, but he's standing just across the stage all crimson and flush with a brand new controller to show off.
All right, what's the controller?
That's right, mate. I am absolutely buzzing about this.
All
no
red.
white gloves, just pure red hotness. Now, you probably know I consider myself a connoisseur of controllers.
They need a custom where you can customize your elite controllers, bro.
Red
I would make my elite controller like
brand
this,
new,
bro.
Never seen before inside Xbox exclusive. And how nice is that?
See that Obi-Wan?
Now, it's a new teammate for our Sport White controller, which we released last year. But on this bad boy, we've amped up the energy with a super vibrant
I want my elite
red
controller
color.
to look like
the design
this,
team actually chose this color specifically because it's got that high visibility pop to it. It also has these silver and dark red accents, some really cool metallic red details that shimmer in the light, this awesome red metallic D-pad, and these cool dark red face buttons to tie it all together as well. And look, on the back, we've got those rubberized grips, which I love, so you'll stay locked in no matter how sweaty things get. And plus, of course, it has built-in Bluetooth technology for Windows 10 PCs and tablets. It looks so good. So good, and personally, I love it because it's the perfect match for my beloved Aberdeen FC's home kit. Come on, you Reds. And that's not all. Coming this spring is a matching Pro charging stand, which lets you easily charge any Xbox wireless controller and look good doing it. So Sport Red is available on March 5th. Pre-orders start today. But if you really can't wait, then head over to the Xbox Twitter account now for a chance to
I'm gonna check it out, yo. I'm gonna check it out, bro.
I'll look after this one for now. Shh, don't tell anyone. Okay.
Is he still in live on stream?
Let's catch up with an Xbox game preview title that's ready for prime time.
Astroneer. What is this?
Astroneer has been on an interstellar path to improvement in the Xbox game preview program, but now it's go time. That's right, we are clear for launch tomorrow. And in celebration of the game release, System Era, the developers launched their own Astroneer perched atop what else? An Xbox One X right into suborbit. Yep.
What?
That is 23 miles up. Mad, but awesome. So what about the game itself? What is an Astroneer?
Yeah,
well,
what is it?
I think it's a bit like a Pioneer, but with less pies and more Astros. Does that sound right?
No.
I think so. And as an Astroneer, you'll explore and reshape distant planets with up to 3 friends in drop-in, drop-out co-op play. You can build vehicles, customize bases, and reform terrain as though it were lovely, soft, extraterrestrial clay. It's my favorite type. Astroneer will be adding some brand new gameplay at launch that will bring you to every planet, trying to unravel the mystery of the solar system through huge, mysterious structures. Plus, unlocking new planets will reward players with new suits and customization options, so great new content being added for launch. Looks amazing.
That balloon just going to outer space? That's crazy, bro. Right now, how many leaks there are, Greninja. Enough with the leaks. Show us dates. Oh, what's this? Oh, is this the game? Is this the game? It's cool, but I probably won't be playing this. I'm not saying it's bad, it's just...
How good is that, eh? It really is a beautiful game and a ton of fun. And a huge congrats to System Era, the developers, on launch. Right, still me. This is like a subscription to Xbox Graham Pass.
Graham Pass, you're better than that, Graham. Hydrate, get reset,
thanks,
long segment to go, camera 3, you good to go?
I am, mate, thank you.
Energy up.
Thanks for looking out for me, pal. I really appreciate that. Let me just put that down.
You got a little thing there.
Okay, good. Right, I feel like I've got everyone's support here. Right, if you're not watching us on Mixer, why not? There's still time to log in with your Microsoft account. You'll receive a free in-game item for Sea of Thieves and a chance to win a beta code for The Division 2. Now, coming soon, I'll be joined by Joe Neate, straight off the sloop from Rare, to talk some big news on the Sea of Thieves. But first, if you like adventures, you're going to be intrigued by a development studio founded by 3 heavy hitters in gaming. We're talking
I'm just waiting for the game
award-winning titles under their belts
to be good enough for me to
special of their own. Take a look at what we found on a secret spy mission to Typhoon Studios.
Come on, Sea of Thieves. I'm waiting for Sea of Thieves to be good.
Relay to command center.
Trading to the Savage Planet. What's
Mayday. Mayday.
505 games.
Yeah, Typhoon had been a dream of the 3 founders for a number of years when we've been working at other companies, whether it's EA or Warner Brothers or Ubisoft for myself. The timing was never quite right. And then one day we just decided to jump.
Either we're going to do it now and start this company, or we're going to stop talking about it because people are going to get sick of hearing our shit.
We all quit our jobs, moved into a room with no windows, and launched the studio.
We flew with one PowerPoint to the first GDC. Meeting with a lot of people who had interest in having us start a new project.
We have some great investors who backed us early on, and so now we have this awesome partnership with 505 where we're really excited to make Savage Planet and to start showing it to people.
Savage Planet. What's up, Kurt? What's up, Bill?
So, Journey to the Savage Planet, our goal is to be optimistic and upbeat and colorful and funny. I wanted the game to be as systemic as possible. I wanted the player's story to be more important than the story we were, laying over the top. And I wanted it to be sort of loud and different and hopefully funny.
Right at the beginning, we knew that we wanted to have something refreshing,
I have to play with people that know how to play
and
the
something
game
uplifting. So we choose to go like colorful and kind of simplistic, so easy to read. You're a space explorer sent by Kindred Technology, which is the 4th best company in space exploration. So they're not super always like perfect, right? Things don't go as expected, but you still have your mission there. So your mission is basically to explore that alien world, document about his wildlife, but there's also an adventure aspect to it.
We did a teaser at the Game Awards, which was cool because it introduced people to the world.
Once again, we would like to thank you for joining the Pioneer program here at Kindred Aerospace.
So far, it seems like that's resonating, which is great because it's really hard to break through the noise.
I don't get what this game is
Obviously, people want
about.
to see gameplay, and we will deliver gameplay in the very near future. But we just wanted to show people the world and the tone of the game.
He's talking about Xbox Inside about games.
Real people. I'm Martin Tweed, founder and CEO of not only Kindred Aerospace, but all of the other smaller.
One of the reasons why I prefer my Xbox over my PlayStation.
To the main enterprise.
So yeah, Martin Tweed is our
I'm not a fan of
CEO
Sony's
and founder
exclusives.
of Kindred Aerospace and all of the Kindred Empire
Uncharted
other
4.
businesses.
The only
and
Sony exclusive I like is
he's
Ratchet
very,
and Clank.
very hopeful and very, very smart.
And so for me, both
secretly
platforms
very,
are
very
about the
ambitious
same.
and
I sort
not
of
very
prefer
worried about
more
the safety of his employees.
Strap your body to a rocket, and we'll send you hurtling through outer space.
It's just personal preference.
Armed with nothing but hope
That's it.
and a pistol, you will be the first to explore undiscovered planets.
I just like the online
You'll return
services
to
better
Earth
on the Xbox.
in one piece. Onward to adventure.
Onward. There it is, the game you love to hate. See?
What's cracking, everybody? If you watched our big XO18 show from Expo
He said,
City,
what's
this guy
cracking? Get it?
look
A
familiar.
cracking?
Yep. It's Joe, 3 Sheets,
jokes.
executive producer for Sea of Thieves. How are you, Joe? Welcome back on the show.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here. It's a lot quieter today than Mixer Goes at you.
It definitely is, isn't it? It's pretty chill.
Yeah.
Before we get started, I saw an amazing tweet from you this weekend about one of your adventures in Sea of Thieves. Can you please tell us the story?
Indeed, yeah. So when I tweeted this, I didn't expect it to be appearing on Inside Xbox. But so I was playing in an open crew, and I just joined. I was playing with a couple of kind of random strangers, basically, and one of them was a kid.
I need somebody that knows what they're doing. And
we were just playing. We formed an alliance with another crew. We were taking down the skeleton fort, and obviously you've got the microphone on.
I did one quest where I had to go and catch a pig.
One of our kittens jumped on me.
And that's it.
And I just instantly went, "Oh, I love you, Munchkin."
I'm done.
And then I realised that I'd said this to the crew, and the crew that we were in alliance with, and the crew that I was playing with. So I swiftly just left the game, basically. Yeah.
So you were straight out.
Pretty
like
much,
that's it. I'm done.
Yeah, I was just like, that was.
I love the mystery
I
of
wonder how many people heard it.
Can we see a picture of your cat on screen here?
I think we might be able to. Yeah. So there's the two of them. But yeah, there they are. Very lovely kittens.
Well, there you go. Just one of the crazy things that happens on the Sea of Thieves.
Indeed, yeah, and the dangers of proximity chat. Yeah.
Speaking of crazy things, you've had a mad few weeks, right? The momentum has been ridiculous. Tell us about what's been going on.
Yeah, so we launched Shrouded Spoils kind of end of November, and just basically since then we've just been gaining momentum, and the numbers have been crazy. Like, we've seen incredible streaming kind of success. So January, the month just gone, is our highest number of viewing hours from streaming, like, since the launch of the project. So even exceeding kind of March and April, around when we launched. We've seen our player base.
I don't be seeing all this stuff when I'm playing this game,
November, basically. So we launched this end of November.
I don't know what I'm doing this game.
December and through to January, we've actually seen our player base kind of double in terms of our monthly active users. So
I've
more
never
than
gotten into
playing it now on a monthly basis, and it's still kind of growing. So day on day, we look at the last 30 days.
I ain't never seen no other pirates.
Which is just incredible.
Pink
so
pig, bro.
It's been so cool to see how that update kind of wrapped up all the stuff we've been adding throughout the year, and really has kind of just made that world so rich and emergent. Every time you're out there playing, there's a new adventure, a new thing to encounter, and it's just been amazing to see. And so, you know, with the stuff that we've all got planned for this year, I think it puts us in an incredible position to, you know,
sailing in games.
I think year 2 for kind of Sea of Thieves can be
when I
even
play
bigger
Assassin's
than year
Creed,
1. Well, that's the goal.
My least favorite part in the Assassin's Creed series are when you're out on the naval ships, shooting cannons and stuff. I hate that stuff.
But there's also been a lot of conversation in the community about crossplay recently. Do you want to elaborate on that a little bit?
Yes. So crossplay, like, we love crossplay, right? As a team, we've loved how it kind of breaks down barriers. It allows people to play together across PC.
They tied us to the bottom of ships, bro.
As we look forward to the arena, which is one of the things that we're working on that will be coming to the game. Like, we know that, like, because it's going to be so competitive.
That's all I saw, Greninja.
Some players are going to want that option to kind of just opt out.
That's all I've seen in this game, bro.
Crossplay, so they get a level playing field. So for players on console with controller, they'll be able to
have Rare make us Banjo and Kazooie, bro.
We want to offer that option.
We want the bear and the bird.
And for adventure when we bring that in. But our intent very much is that. It's for adventure, which is kind of the game as it currently exists now.
Jet Force Gemini,
an arena will come in and
bro.
be its own
Perfect
kind of
dark, bro.
We expect and want like the majority of our players and as many players to play together in kind of crossplay and with in that style. Yeah. So, you know, and that will be how we design it in the front end, how we surface it. So it's really going to be specifically, if you really know that you want to go do this, you'll have to go find the option and kind of turn it off for adventure. Whereas we'll be a bit more kind of surfacing it to players for arena. So you know, how we design it and how we do that will lead to hopefully
unless they like take out the sailing.
And so we've seen, you know, lots of conversation around this, around like, will this split players, will it lead to kind of emptier servers? But it's like, that's not how our kind of game works. We have server migration, which moves people between servers,
shooting our muskets at each other.
To keep the servers full, to keep the kind of encounters with other ships to be the right, just kind of frequency and everything.
It's Black History Month, no ships, no wooden ships in Black History Month, Rare.
Kind of being bandied around in terms of how many, what the percentage is of players on Xbox, the percentage on PC, and so we actually just kind of ran a kind of check over the last weekend. So just looking at the kind of player base, so from like 6 AM on Friday through to Monday, and our split is like 35% of the players kind of playing over the last weekend are playing on PC, and then it was, I think, 35.2%, and then 64.8% are kind of on Xbox. So you've got this great split of people across the two platforms, and that's really cool for us to see. And we value both platforms equally. We value all the players that are playing, and we love crossplay, but we just know with the arena coming that we wanted to offer that option. So that will be coming in. The team's working on that at the moment, and we want to make sure that comes in for when that arena mode comes into the game.
Good to know, and super interesting as well. I love those stats in there. Yeah. Right, you've got an update coming tomorrow, but there's something you want to show us first, right?
Indeed, yes. So, you know, the update tomorrow is mainly kind of quality of life improvements, bug fixes, a few little things. But Sea of Thieves is great as an adventure out there and played with friends. And we really wanted to offer an opportunity to everybody kind of playing Sea of Thieves, whether it's on Game Pass, where they own it, to have an opportunity to bring some friends in and really show them what's amazing about Sea of Thieves. So we're going to play a little video, and then I'll talk a little bit more about what this is.
Nice.
There's no greater pleasure than sailing across the Sea of Thieves with a crew of your finest friends. But if for some reason they haven't hopped on board
yet, now
might be the perfect time for them to dip a toe in the water with our Friends Play free offer. From February 6th to February 13th, Any existing players of Sea of Thieves can invite up to 3 of their friends to join them on the waves. Whether you own a physical or digital copy, or are playing with Game Pass, you can take advantage of this offer. Simply head to the Sea of Thieves website at seaofthieves.com and then go to the Friends Play Free section. You'll be prompted to log in with your Microsoft account, and then you'll be presented with 3 panels which you'll need to scratch to reveal your codes. Each 5x5 code gives one player unrestricted access to play Sea of Thieves for the duration of the offer. To celebrate this, Duke will also have a new voyage for you to complete, as well as offering you a new mercenary ship livery. So if you know someone who's still waiting to take the plunge into the waters of the Sea of Thieves, then from the 6th of February, grab your codes and get set for adventure.
Oh, I missed where you
Love
claim
it. So you'll be able to press gang your pals into playing Sea of Thieves with you.
Absolutely, yeah.
Good.
Oh, I could get friends.
Wicked.
We could all hunt pigs together.
Cool. So, with this, like we talked about, we're bringing in a bunch of kind of changes and kind of improvements. One of those is around just combat. So we've seen in Sea of Thieves kind of recently the proliferation of people using what we call the double gun kind of technique, which is something we didn't design. We didn't want to be the case. And this is really where people could shoot in quick succession with 2 kind of projectile weapons and kind of basically instant kill players. So we've kind of nerfed that, for want of a better description, to stop that being possible. And we've also taken the chance to do a bunch of other kind of combat improvements to really try and make each weapon stand out and work as kind of as we designed. So kind of it won't be as easy to hip fire kind of some of the weapons if you're not aiming and things. It won't be as accurate. We're really trying to bring the sword into play and give the blunderbuss kind of more of a role, because we look at our data, we look at our feedback, and you know, like the balance isn't quite right at the moment. So you know, we're going to put this out there. We've been testing with pioneers. We want to test it now with our wider audience, and we're going to be looking at this and continuing to make changes and improvements. And you know, this is change, right? And so we'll expect to see some feedback on it, like we always will, right? Because people have got their muscle memory of how they play and what they like and what their techniques are. So be a bit of relearning there, but that's coming with this. And we talked about it a little bit in the video there, but we're kind of launching this new set of voyages called like mercenary voyages. And so for our players that have been playing, it's kind of similar to the Gilded Gifts we ran prior to Christmas, which was a really cool way to give these special voyages to players. It drove really interesting behaviour in terms of people going out doing these high-value quests, and then you had the people on the quest. You had people who were out hunting the seas looking for those players on the quest. You saw some really great kind of interaction between people. And so with mercenary voyages, the first one that's coming with this is for Friends Play Free, and it's really the perfect voyage for you to give to your friends. It gives them a tour of kind of the different trading companies and ends with the drunken chest. And so what we'll see is we'll see a lot of people out on these voyages. You'll see a lot of people with kind of quite a bit of treasure on stuff. So we'll see, is it going to drive that kind of player behaviour again of the kind of people out on quest, the other people going looking, and which is what the shared world of Sea of Thieves is. But this is just a taster, really, and as we move forward, we want this to be a regular series of kind of mercenary voyages that we introduce. And what we want to do with that is just drive really interesting social behaviour between players, like drive people to different parts of the world, maybe force them to have their Reaper's Mark flag up so they're present on the map, to go and do voyages like that. So again, you're trying to drive interesting interactions. So I think we've, like the Gilded Gifts really proved that with something quite simple you can drive really interesting player behaviour, and I think that's the magic of this shared world that we have, and the different motivations, right, that you've got in there of people exploring, people kind of going and doing quests, people going and looking for more combat. So I think we've got some fun plans lined up for that, but this is just the start for that, really.
I love that. It feels like you're engineering like the perfect Sea of Thieves experience for this Friends Play Free.
Yeah, week, right? Yeah, that's the intent. Yeah, and so. And alongside that, there's lots of people stream Sea of Thieves, right? Loads and loads of our players have streamed the game, and we've had a lot of requests for people specifically to be able to kind of turn off the gamer tags of other crews that they encounter, because what you were seeing for some people, like who were watching streams, they were trying to get into those streams and almost just kind of stream snipe, basically, and so by identifying, joining other people's crews and getting in. So you'll be able to turn that off in the settings now, and we're looking at other feedback as well from streamers. So there are other things that we can do. I think one of the requests we've had, which we're looking at, is can we turn off like the gamer tags of your crew as well, so that there's like just none of that stuff's visible. So I think we're looking at that in the studio. But yeah, there's a bunch of other bug fixes. But I think I'd expect a lot of the feedback, a lot of the kind of focus to be around the combat balancing and stuff. So we welcome that. We look, on Reddit, on the forums, on Twitter.
You love feedback over there, right?
Am I going to play Jump, boys?
You've got to we always want to keep growing and evolving and doing new things with Sea of Thieves, and so it's really critical that our players give us constructive and open and honest feedback, and we'll keep being open and honest with them.
Absolutely. So we mentioned it earlier. We got to wrap it up, unfortunately, but we're coming up to your first birthday, March the 20th. You must have big plans for that, right?
Yes. Sea of Thieves' first birthday. I'm not that.
Sea of Thieves Battle Royale.
But yeah, so,
swimming in the water with sharks.
It is. It's March the 20th. Amazing that we'll be out a year, right? And we definitely have special plans to celebrate. So we are going to be announcing on March the 20th. So not releasing, but announcing a kind of a mega update, for want of a better phrase. So a lot of the things we've been working on across the studio, some of which we've talked about, like Arena, like Pets, like the work that we're doing on the quest system to kind of bring a bit more story and lore and things to that. There's all of these things plus more that we're basically the entire kind of team is working on. We're going to be announcing it, so we're going to be announcing kind of what's in it on March 20th and when it's coming. And our community of which there's a lot, and we've got all of these players that are playing and loving Sea of Thieves right now. They have to be a little bit patient until then, but trust me, it's worth it. And when I talk about this year being kind of bigger than the last, that's because I know all the things that we're currently working on and our plans for how we want to go crazy and grow this. So I know we're going long, but I love talking about the game. Right?
I know. I could talk to you about it all day. That's brilliant. So March the 20th, so date for your diary, the Sea of Thieves birthday party. It sounds like you're going to get a pretty good party bag out of that as well.
Indeed.
Joe, always a pleasure to see you, mate. Thank you. Send my love back to the studio. I miss you all. And we'll see you again soon. Cheers. Right. There aren't many games that generate as much anticipation, rumours and excitement as the upcoming Jump Force. Earlier, Rukari, who literally has a Goku tattoo on his arm.
I'm not giving up on Sea of Thieves, bro.
Spoke with Nakajima-san from Bandai about the game and got a look at some never-before-seen video footage.
Jump Force is going to be lit. Jump Force is going to be lit. Bye. Vegeta!
Here to talk about Jump Force is producer Nakajima-san from Bandai. All right, how are y'all doing today? First of all, I just gotta say, the excitement around this game is intense. I mean, I've got a Dragon Ball tattoo. I'm ready to go, but what I want to know is, how are you going to keep fans hyped after the game launches in 10 days?
すでに9人のプレイヤブルキャラクターとそのアバターコスチュームに関して追加するという発表はすでにさせていただいているんですけれども、それだけではなくて無料のアップデートも予定しています。追加のアバターコスチューム、ステージ、ロビーでのアクションというものを定期的に追加する予定です。さらにロビーではイベントとオンラインイベントの予定もしています。またそれと同時にですね、本作バトルの調整やゲームの改善も定期的に行っていこうと思ってます。すでにオープンベータテストのご意見を参考にバトルの調整を入れていて、それがローンチのタイミングで皆さんにお届けできるかと思います。今後もこれから本作に関してはお客様がずっと楽しんでいただけるように我々は努力していこうというふうに思ってます。
Alright, so we just already announced 9 characters. We have avatar costumes and things like that. But not only that, we also have free updates and also many more IP cross costumes. We're going to have some online events as well in the online content. So something that comes in periodically every now and then. We also are going to be doing adjustments in the battle and balancing mechanics periodically based on player feedback so that people can continue to enjoy the game as the battle and the game develops. We also have beta tests. And so a lot of our user feedback is going to be absorbed from those beta tests. So we're working very, very hard to bring you, a very exciting experience well after the release of the game.
Well, that's great to hear. I love the community bits, and I especially love that free part. Now, I hear there's a world premiere video that we're getting ready to see. I want to know, what have you brought for us?
And this is the video that's going to claim this video.
2月4日に発表したんですけれども、新しいジャンプフォースのキャラクターで、ジョジョの奇妙な冒険から空女上太郎とデュオの参戦を発表しました。その PV を本日お持ちしてますので、ぜひ皆さんに見ていただきたいと思ってます。
Alright, so on February 4th, we already are going to be announcing 2 characters from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Did you just say February 4th?
Jotaro Kujo and Dio. So we're going to take a look at that.
When was this
recorded?
Awesome.
I got to say, as an anime fan, I'm super excited for this.
There's only 3
thank you so much for joining us today. It was an absolute pleasure.
Dragon Ball.
All right, well, no more waiting.
My Hero
Let's go
Academia
ahead and take a
and
look.
Titanfall. I said Titanfall. Attack on Titan. Titanfall, Attack on Titan, same thing. Same thing. Robots, Titans. Oh, Goku. Oh, he got a heart on his belt. You know this dude, man. I don't know none of these dudes, bro. I don't know none of these dudes, bro. Useless, useless, useless! Let me have a taste. Dude looks lit though. Bruh. Bruh. Wow, bro. February 15th, you know, day
Next
one.
up, Jeff is going to get to the bottom of what's happening with Metro Exodus, but first, check out this hauntingly cool story.
We're coming close to the end. It's coming closer.
Man is a beast.
Got about 10 more minutes.
Who are those people trying to kill us?
Hit us with a bang at the end, bro. Best on Metro. All right, this is Metro. I'm probably pass on this game too. There's some, yeah, the game does look clean though, Minty. The demo is lit too. But we're gonna there's too many other games I want to play to try and get that Metro game into, bro. I just can't do it, bro. Don't have the time, bro. I still gotta beat Banjo-Kazooie, man. Or Crackdown 3, man. I'm bored.
Will you help us,
it's late.
Artyom?
Hey, these next-gen consoles better bring the bang, bro. Syrups, Mortal Kombat 11 is gonna be lit, bro.
Come closer, Artyom.
Come closer, Artyom. What is this? This is the Metro. Baby has on. Oh, they're shooting. Oh, whoa. But wait till games like look just like this. Like how these CGI scenes look so dope. We're getting there, bro. Oh, GG. That dude's gone. We're getting there, bro. Oh. Dude's completely out of it, bro. We're going from scene to scene. Yeah, there's a lot of games. Yeah, there's a lot of games I'm gonna play. So scary. Like hot sauce and cake, sauce cake. Okay, gotcha. What's up, Lion Star? We're chilling, bro. I don't know if they moved to Epic. It's still like cool, lazy. I believe you, bro. The game looks dope. Like a giant mole, bro. Everybody's crying. Alright. Get this dude out of here. Exodus Journey Beyond. Metro 2023.
Now that is a pretty cool trailer for Metro Exodus, and fortunately we've got Hugh Bynum from Deep Silver joining us to give us the inside scoop. Hugh, thanks so much for joining us all the way from central London. We got to see some really interesting things there. A desert, a lush forest, a snowy scape. Are you sure this is a Metro game?
Yeah, well, for Metro Exodus, we've really shaken things up. So for the first time,
check out this dude
you the Moscow Metro.
Bro.
You board this gigantic
got a curly afro,
and embark on this incredible continent-spanning journey. So you're going to go through all 4 seasons, this crazy mix of environments. You just saw a glimpse of some of them in the trailer there.
We got to see a little bit more of Artyom as well. Normally we see him from a first-person perspective. We're shooting horrible monsters, but I think we learned a little bit more about his character here.
Yeah, that's right. We let you play in first-person perspective in the game, and we never leave Artyom's perspective. We think that really helps the immersion, but it's meant Artyom's always been a bit of an enigma, and we wanted to explore Artyom as a person, let you kind of find out what kind of man he was. So that was really the creative idea behind the trailer.
So ever since we saw Metro Exodus for the first time at E3 a couple years ago, people were wowed by how it looks, and we're expecting it's going to look really good on the Xbox One X, the most powerful console ever made. So what have you guys been doing to optimize for the X?
It is. Well, as you said, the X is the most powerful console out there at the moment. It's the only one that we can hit native 4K resolution. Metro games are famed for their beautiful worlds and environments. Being able to render that in 4K detail just means that we can really bring those environments to life. I just know I'm not going to have time to play this game. We also use HDR. Now that we've left the Metro, we have these big open environments with day-night cycles. You still go underground as well with lanterns and candles. And HDR just really helps make the lighting more immersive. And I guess speaking of immersion, we have full support for the Dolby Atmos system as well. So yeah, the game should sound as terrifying as it looks.
I'm sure the artists and the sound designers really appreciate that, using the full suite of the power of Xbox One X. So February 15th, it is a crowded day. We've talked about a number of games that are coming out on that day already. So I want to give you the chance to tell us, what should people be looking for? Why should they be excited to pick up Metro Exodus on February 15th?
Why? Give us a reason.
Well, we think Metro Exodus is going to scratch that itch for people who are looking for an epic, story-driven experience. We blend so many different styles into the game, from combat, exploration, and stealth. It's really more than the sum of its parts. You're going to experience these beautiful but ruined post-apocalyptic environments, fighting mutants and factions.
Every game is
a pretty full package.
And I think you were telling me a little bit about some really cool customization with the weapons as well.
Now, man.
Yeah, that's right. We just went to town with the weapon customization this time, so you can now customize your weapons on the fly. You can turn your pistol into a long-range sniper rifle. It's this brand new mechanic. It works really well. We released an incredible weapons trailer a couple of weeks ago that really shows it off. If you like your guns, I suggest you go and check it out.
All right, you've heard it. So many reasons to check out Metro Exodus when it is available on February 15th. Thank you so much for joining us, Hugh, and bundle up, will you?
Will do. Thank you.
Thanks, Chef. Metro looks great, but we're out of time, so let's wrap up this episode of Inside Xbox.
Now, thanks to all of our guests, and of course, you at home for spending some quality time with us today.
And a big thank you to Kate. Welcome to the Inside Xbox family. Smash it. Well done.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Now, don't forget Crackdown 3, February 15th on Xbox Game Pass.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in March for the next Inside Xbox episode. I'd like to tell you what it's about, but I can't yet. Got some really cool stuff. See you next time.
See you then. Bye-bye.
Oh, they're doing it once a month? We getting Nintendo Directs every month? No, I'm joking. All right, dudes. Thanks for coming by. Came home later than expected, so I won't be gaming tonight, but we'll be gaming tomorrow. I'll see y'all dudes later. Sound off in the comment section below. I want to know before you go, bro. Click that subscribe button. Stay up to date all things gaming, bro.